All right, Syria, what do you say? We take it to the max. Good to have you
Absolutely.
here, my girl. How are you?
I'm doing so well. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm going to take a quick second and introduce you for anyone who may be listening who didn't watch Max Combos. You are Cerryia Lindberg. You are the customer success and operations manager at MaxClass with me. We had the incredible privilege of working together in a previous life at a previous company. And when I started up Max Class, I'm pretty sure I made you like a solemn vow where I was like, girl, one day I'm coming
You
for
did.
you. I
Yes.
did, and I meant it. And that day is here. So I'm so happy to have you here.
Happy
I
to be here.
what I love about this is I have the privilege and the honor of getting to talk to so many cool people within the mortgage industry on this show. I really wanted to have a conversation with you just because we're in the middle of Q2. I'm getting ready to do something really fun in June with the show and with the segment. And I kind of just wanted to take the opportunity to do a little bit of a recap as well as a brain dump together
Yeah.
of what's going on, what is formulating and percolating in my mind. So you get to kind of play the role of being here with me for what will hopefully be a periodic piece on Take It to the Max, where we just get to chat together.
Love it.
Perfect. Let's do this.
Okay.
So, okay, let's talk about a couple of things. One, I want to kind of first address that I just returned from secondary in New York. It was a
Yes.
fantastic conference, great, fantastic conference for anyone who hasn't been, and definitely a who's who of the mortgage industry. You will run into so many amazing and key players. Highly
Mhm.
recommend it for everyone who is in this space. But it's not just people in the secondary market. It is a lot of people who are vendors. There's a lot of big decision makers that attend this conference, and the action items that come about at this event really are fantastic. The things that are top of mind for so many people. So one, I feel like first and foremost, we have to talk about layoffs that have occurred recently within the
Yes.
industry. There have been a lot, and it makes sense. The market is constricting, and the ramifications of that are definitely starting to show through. And they have been for a little while. I shouldn't say that they're starting to because they have been. But
Yeah.
the second thing that was so paramount in people's conversations and minds was AI implementation. And
Oh,
we
yeah.
cannot talk about one without bringing up the other. AI is coming in. It is completely transforming the way people are doing business, the way that they are running their operations, the way that they are providing service to their customers, the way they're taking applications. It is literally revolutionizing everything right now, not even just the mortgage industry. It is truly
Yeah.
revolutionizing everything. And that's really exciting and also a little unnerving.
Yes.
What I can appreciate about it is we are very much in a people to people industry, but I'm reluctant a little bit on for how long that will be the case. And what I mean by that is in 2020, we saw the way that we did business had to change. We adapted, we made the changes, we made the adjustments. And all of a sudden, not working with a person face to face became a very normalized thing for so many people. And we've been able to maintain and hang on to that as the years have gone on. But there has been kind of an adjustment that we've seen of hybrid models, how people are running things, what they're doing. We do a lot of live classes and live events all across the nation. I am so grateful for our students and the attendees who want to come out and actually attend live events
Mhm.
and who want to continue to network and put themselves in front of people. I think that that will always be an amazing connecting piece for people within this industry. And I think they're
Yeah.
critical components that as time goes on, we're going to realize just how special and how magical they are. So, not to, again, to our horn at MaxClass, but again, I'm going to. It's my podcast. I can do what I want with
Yes,
it.
absolutely.
I am so proud of what we've done and what we've built and the incredible five-star reviews that we have from our students. We have a five-star rating on Google and it's out of like 180 reviews. Like we put on events that are phenomenal and that
Yeah.
really are changing the way people think about continuing education. You and I actually had an interaction just today. We're sitting there, we're in the office. We aren't keeping the current space that we're in right now. And so an agent showed up to list the space and wanted to come take some video, asks us what we do there. And I'm like, oh, we're continuing education providers for the mortgage industry.
Yeah.
And the first thing he said, he was like, ugh, I hate CE. I hate having to do my CE. I pay my assistant every year to do it for me. And we both were just kind of like, well, we'll keep your secret for you, I
Right.
suppose. I don't love hearing that. But
No.
we do hear so much of that because
Yes.
there is this perception that CE is so boring
Yeah.
that people don't learn anything from it, that no new ideas are shared. I got a comment like that today on my Facebook as I announced the online launch of our continuing education.
Yeah.
People who were just like, well, it sounds good in theory. Like, no, we actually do mean it. We mean it. So that to me was another area that I took from this conference was it is so important to stay on top of everything that's going on right now, to stay sharp in your craft. And the best way to do that is to stay informed, to go to conferences, to seek out higher education, to really become the master at what you do.
Yeah.
So anyway, just had to plug that. I'm really proud. We've done some really cool things and bigger things are coming.
Yes.
Um what's on your mind? What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of like touching on that, like, what do you feel as you've been like building Max Class into the company that it is, and then it will become what outside of going to conferences and like speaking with professionals and everything? How do you keep things fresh and relevant within the classes that we are providing? Right?
I love that question. One topic that we put into okay, so little backstory.
Yes,
Our VP, Elle, who is also our content writer, she's a phenomenal content writer. She's the
absolutely.
best VP I could ever ask for. When
Yes.
she and I were going through and setting up our content plan for this year, she said, hey, I have a couple of content ideas for what we can do for the general elective for the 1 hour. Goes through them and she hits climate change. And I was like, that's it. That's the one that I want to do. And I was like, I know it's controversial. I know people are going to have very strong thoughts on it. And they do. Let me assure you, I am in those classes where people want to raise their opinions about it.
Mm-hmm.
Our stance is continually we are not here to tell you what to think or how to feel. We are not here to shape or to change your political view. That is not our goal as an educator. However, what our goal is to provide you with the information that is affecting your borrowers and your consumers right now so that when you come across this in real life, you're prepared for how you're going to handle it.
Oh,
Climate
yeah.
change specifically is a topic that I love speaking about because there is so much going on with it from homeowners insurance perspectives, depending on where you're at. People in California and Florida have had their homeowners insurance triple over the last few years.
Yeah.
There is where I'm at. I used this example the other day. I live in an area that people didn't used to live in. My city
Yeah.
is only 25 years old, and they didn't live here for a reason, right? But
Yes.
because of the way that migration patterns have had to change and housing affordability, whatever the cost may be, people are having to move into areas that weren't previously inhabited. Well, what happened within the first year that they built houses out here? The hill caught on fire right behind my neighbor's house. This isn't something that would have been an issue 25, 30 years ago. It wouldn't have been an issue even 5 years ago. This entire neighborhood didn't exist then,
Yeah.
but it exists here now. And so now we have to do different fire abatement protocol
Yeah.
because I have literally 3/4 of an acre behind me of just a bunch of tinder that, given the opportunity, that sagebrush wants to go up and smoke, right?
Mhm.
These are the types of things that we talk about in class to get people's brains triggered. And part of keeping content fresh is understanding exactly what's going on in the market and what people are seeing right now.
Yeah.
We do have the benefit of being on the road a lot, a lot.
Right.
Like I said, in Max Combos, I just wrapped up my 18th trip already this year.
Oh my gosh.
I have this amazing opportunity to talk to people from all walks of life all across the nation who are seeing all different cases and scenarios. I used another example that I'll expound upon right now, where I had lunch yesterday with an LO friend of mine, and he was talking about the company that he's with, how they barely felt the market constriction going on because they work primarily with builders. 60% of their business is from builders. Well, here in
Mhm.
Utah, it's still a booming build marketplace. And so they aren't familiar with the fact. I mean, I shouldn't say they're not familiar. They're not living under a rock. They know what's happening,
Right.
but
But they're not
it has
feeling it as much.
exactly, bingo.
Yeah.
It hasn't hit them in the same way. Well, his point was, what happens when some of the large national builders start to really set their sights on Utah? How does that change for them? These builders who have their own in-house financing, they're going to feel it then. They're going to know it then. What are they doing now to best prepare themselves for that day? Because that day will come. So, what are they doing to really add arrows into their quiver? And I think that's a really strong learning opportunity for all MLOs of, you need to be expanding your reach right now. You need to be trying things that you haven't tried. You need to be improving your outreach. You need to be sharpening up your skill set so
Yeah.
that you can go out there and find more business where you maybe traditionally haven't been finding your business.
Yeah.
So that's how I do it. That's how we do it here at MaxClass.
Yes. So I guess just kind of like keeping it forward focused then, where do you see the mortgage industry and the real estate industry going in the next 5 years? I mean, it is a little bit touch and go, especially with the addition of AI and then looking at potential of, I don't know, just all the different climates of everything going on right now. What are you envisioning 5 years?
I wish I could say. I wish I
Yeah.
could. I genuinely.
Yeah.
It is such an interesting and complex time in the
Yes.
industry. because we have housing unaffordability, houses have never been more unaffordable. Don't come at me with the data of no, actually, if you look at this and if you consider that. No, our wages have not kept up with the cost of the homes. They just haven't. It
Mhm.
takes so much more money for a borrower to qualify now than it did even a year ago, 2 years ago. And on top of that, if tariffs actually really do go into place and the building materials that are necessary to build these homes to get more availability out there, that's just going to continue to drive costs up. I really hope, and this is something that has kind of been, I don't know, maybe an envisioning on my part. I would really love to see untraditional spaces become utilized as housing. And
Okay.
trust me, someone is going to hear this who has the capital that I don't. And I hope that they cut me in on that deal for inspiring this because I want part of that deal. But I would really love to see like malls. There are malls that cannot be kept in business because, again, consumers have changed. People just want to ship everything right to their doors. And so why are we not figuring out ways to convert those malls into housing with
Yeah.
really cool communal spaces? There's so much opportunity out there that I think exists that I can see the opportunities coming for the need for expansion
Right.
into untraditional places. So I would love to see more of that. I really would,
Yeah.
just making houses where maybe there weren't houses before, people optimizing ADUs, accessory dwelling units, right?
Yeah.
Doing more of that to help. And I think we will see more of that, especially with the generational wealth transfer that's about to come up.
Yes.
I think a mindset shift will happen in the younger generation that is set to inherit all of this money coming in from the baby boomers when they
Yeah.
finally decide to relinquish their properties or they, I don't want to say die. Now I feel bad because, baby boomers, there's still plenty that are young and thriving,
Yes.
but the time will come and
They
we
will.
know
The passing of the torch will occur in one
correct.
way or the other.
Correct. And let's be
Yes.
honest, if you can move into a 55 plus community, you should be considering that. I would
Yeah.
consider that right now. That seems like heaven on earth for me. So,
It does. First of all, walk in shower, send me right up. And then secondly, around people same age, usually like interest. It's great. Communities
right?
are so necessary, especially as you are getting older. So yes,
Totally agree. Totally
sign
agree.
me
And
up.
now we just need them to actually take us up on that
Right?
offer and
I
release
know.
some of their properties to the next
Right? Well,
generation.
yes, because the amount of times that I've looked at homes and then I realize that it's for a 55 plus community, and then I'm like, oh, I got to go back to square one. So hopefully they do take advantage of those, and
I
then
hope so.
a redistribution of things and assets.
I
Yeah,
hope so. I really
and then
do.
apartment complexes and old malls. It could be exciting.
Isn't that such a great idea? Or am I
It
like an
is.
idiot? I think
No,
it's
I've
such a
always
cool
had this
idea.
idea where I want to like take a mall that is no longer being used and set up like a paintball or a laser tag thing. So I think yours is a little bit more productive than mine. So I love that.
I mean, there's room for all of the above. Those
Yes,
areas are enormous.
they
There's
are.
so
They're
much
massive.
opportunity. You could have paintball on one end and housing on the other.
Right. Who wouldn't want to live in that?
That sounds amazing. Forget the 55 plus community. That's where I'm going.
No,
Put a
we're
big
setting up
pool
some
outside and
paintball apartment complex.
even better. I
You,
want the pool on the roof, and it's just going to be the coolest little community. Someone's going to
yes,
hear this. I guess putting a pool on the roof would be a little challenging if it wasn't constructed for that. So
maybe.
maybe not the best idea. Forget the pool on the
Yes.
roof.
We can do a
But
garden with a water feature. That's a little
no, I
bit more
still want my pool
manageable.
somewhere. Forget the garden. I'm not gardening, Syria. Have you met me? But I'm definitely hanging out by the pool.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Speaking of things that we're just learning about each other right now in this moment, what's one thing that you feel like would surprise people to learn about you aside from your lack of gardening skills?
Yeah, that is a very real lack. Um, Maybe that I'm a mom. I feel
Oh,
like
okay.
that tends to surprise a lot of people because I am on the
Yeah.
road so much. I do mention
Mhm.
my daughter occasionally on
Yeah.
some social media, but I try to keep that area of my life really quiet and really private just
Yes.
because I think there's not enough of that. I think so many, and again, not to fault any parents out there, every parent approaches things differently,
Mhm.
but having autonomy for my daughter was something that I always wanted. And
Yes.
seeing the way that kids at such a young age would take a phone and would make a kissy face into it like they were, going to be posting it somewhere. I saw this so much with my niece when she was so little. We're talking like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And the way that as she got a little bit older, she started to pick different things apart about the way she looked in pictures. And it it really broke my heart. And I saw it more and more as time went on of people who put their kids out there so much. And there was something to me that just didn't feel like the right path for me or her. So that's probably it. I don't know. You know me pretty well. Is there
I
something more
do.
surprising about me?
No, I feel like that's probably a big one for sure.
Yeah.
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 The
I
other
would
one's right
agree.
on your sleeve. Yeah, I mean, you're not very much like a super secretive person. I feel like usually you can get a good read on you.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
not wrong.
Yeah.
Like, if you ask me a question, I'm gonna give you an answer. I don't volunteer a lot of information about my life. Maybe that's
Yes.
it. I don't
Maybe you.
volunteer a lot, but if you ask me,
Yeah.
I'll answer. I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty open
Exactly.
book.
Yeah.
It's a
That's
good
nice.
question. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you for
You're
that.
welcome. So welcome. Let's see. Okay, this is actually one that I'm genuinely curious about. You obviously through this, just with different conversations and everything that you've had with the people that you get to meet while on the road, what's an insight that you've gained either from a guest or an acquaintance that just really stuck with you?
Here here's one that I hope people go back and listen to.
Okay.
So, Chris Burks with Zetro and I recorded. He is, oh, Chris, forgive me for not remembering your title right off the top of my head, like the director of business development or strategic growth, something like that. And Chris is one of the kindest, most genuine, most intelligent people in this industry, and we met by happenstance. We happened to be at a conference and we're going down the escalator together at the same time. And he looked over at me and he was like, "You're Ladonna. I know you. I watch you on your segments, right?" And so we just got
Oh,
chatting, and he has the coolest backstory. He worked at Apple. He has done all sorts of engineering. Like, this guy is brilliant, brilliant, but again, is so kind and so warm. He has some very fascinating takes on AI and what it's going to do for the industry. We actually have kind of a cool partnership with them that we'll get into a little bit later down the road. We got to
okay.
get a few more pieces into place. But
Yeah.
Chris, if you're hearing this, let's get those pieces in place.
His ears
But
are burning.
I highly recommend people go back and listen to the episode that he and I recorded. It got a little overshadowed at the time that it came out, and maybe this is even my way of kind of making it up to him for that. It happened to coincide the date that our episode dropped, if I'm remembering correctly, I'm pretty sure, was the same time that I had the kind of traumatic event with someone breaking into my hotel room.
Oh,
Um, and posting about that. And that post, of course, went viral. Whereas I had this in depth, brilliant conversation with Chris that just got completely buried because of that. So I
Yeah.
would love for people to go back and listen to that because he has fantastic insights. And I think people really should connect with him. He's such a wonderful person to know in this industry. There are so many mortgage influencers that as I've been doing this, I've had the opportunity to connect with that, I guess maybe initially you're not sure what to take them for. And
Right.
then you get to know them and you're like, "Oh my gosh, they are as wonderful and as cool as I thought they were." Brian View, that dude, I adore him. What
Mhm.
what a wealth of knowledge, what a kind and insightful person who is just as cool as they come. Um, Kobe Hackalier is another fantastic one that I think people should follow. He same thing, just such a wealth of knowledge. He has so much insight. He has a brain that can just take things from a true consultant perspective, really look at them from that bird's eye view, but has the background and the experience to really dissect them. And I love his insights and I trust his opinions and his takes on things. Such a great one. There's so many wonderful people out there. Like
Yes.
genuinely, I'm so grateful for so many of the connections that I've made doing this. I would be remiss if I didn't shout out KP with PRMG. Everyone knows KP though, so he doesn't need the accolades. Well, I'm gonna give them to him anyway because
He just needs it anyway.
he's such a great guy. And there's just again, I could go on and on.
Yeah.
All of these people are worth following and connecting with for their insight because there's
Yes.
so much to be shared within this industry to make people better at what they do. That's the
Mhm.
other magical thing about these podcasts and social media content. This is free. It's
Yeah.
free. It will make you better at what you do. It will make you more of an expert. It will help you to become that trusted resource yourself that people want to follow and connect with and hear your insights about when you really take the time to just go above and beyond, to take it to the max, if you will, to take
Ah.
it to the max and just get outside of yourself to become better at what you do. So,
Yeah.
hopefully people enjoyed this episode. This was more talking about myself than what I'm used to, and I think I said, like, 2 real personal things, but I loved getting this opportunity to chat with you because I am so proud of what we do and what we're building at MaxClass, and I know we're going to have the opportunity to do this a little more often. Like I said, I kinda wanna do it once a quarter. I think it's cool for
Yeah.
people to get that little you hear me interview other people, you hear my questions for them. I would love for people to submit questions and you ask me and we just get to explore this a little bit more. So,
Yes.
thank you for being here, Syria. You are
Absolutely.
amazing. You are putting my life together in all the amazing ways and I'm so so grateful for you. So, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thanks for letting us take it to the max.